Those are beautiful.
I've had this one back when it was the Ludwig Pat Petrillo practice pad. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I forgot that he's the one that designed that, right? And then Drumeo
yeah,
licensed
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then nobody bought him except me, so Ludwig discontinued it, and then he moved it over to Drumeo.
Oh, they
That's
probably
where I
sold.
thought on Drumeo.
They probably sold so many of those on Drumeo because
Yeah,
everybody's using it. Like, yeah.
yeah. I remember thinking I saw it in some ad in Modern Drummer. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing! You could like practice like you're on a drum set, and then I like never saw anybody else see the Ludwig version. But yeah, Drumeo knew it was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Old school. I always, man, I've been on I wanted to make Drum Brigade practice pads. I still do, but I'm kind of, I don't, well, for students, I just thought maybe making, like regular rubber ones. But I always wonder, like, I think I really want to get like a marching practice pad that has a rim on it. Like, but I don't know. If
Oh
we're
man,
talking
I
about
have a
making,
bunch of those. Yeah, there was a company that made those, and I tried them, and they're just so bulky and awkward and chew
a
up
rim.
your sticks. I
Oh
have a
yeah.
few. You want one?
Well, I was trying to, yeah, we were trying to design one that works with, for our students, but maybe like, because no one really does them with the rubber or like, or like I wanted to try to do one with the super pad, but yeah, figure that out. I have so many practice pads. I at my old left a box of like probably 10 or 15 of them for like these ahead ones for and because we were trying to do group classes, so I had a bunch of practice pads, but I never went and got them. And so I saw the guy that like has the shop like that moved the studio, and he's like, I have all your practice pads. I'm like, dude, I need to get those back. Like, and yeah, so yeah. I actually have too many practice pads myself. All right, guys. So yeah, thank you guys for coming today. This was like another difficult one for me to get out of bed and be here, but like I'm stoked to be here. But if you guys didn't, are you guys if you guys aren't in the chat on Instagram, we are gonna put Chops and Coffee on a hiatus. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, and I was like telling somebody that I don't want to be like, oh, man, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, because this is like Chops and Coffee has been really positive for me, and it's been a great way to start our mornings and all of that stuff. But for me, it's becoming very difficult to keep it consistent and be prepared for it. And like this morning, coming off of a gig last night, and then jumping into Chops and Coffee at 7 a.m. is just really hard. So not only that, like I'm preparing for a tour that's happening in a month, and so I have to focus on that. And so Chops and Coffee is, as much as I would like to, force myself to do it, it's just like I feel like I'm falling short, and I'm exhausted. Trying to do it 3 days a week is just really like not feasible right now. So I don't think we should be like, so this is the last one, it's over, because I think that this is such a cool thing. I just think it needs a little bit of a break. It needs a little bit of a breather. I think it needs some things maybe revamped, and so that we can grow and keep it moving forward in a positive way, bringing positivity to our community. So but that being said, man, I'm so like proud and so stoked that we've done this for a year. I've only missed one day um for my vacation, and that's quite an accomplishment in my opinion. Like, really cool. And then the best thing that's come out of this is meeting all of you guys. Even though it's been on Zoom, it's been man, incredible to kind of create a community within our community of like the coolest drummers I know, the dudes that have the best attitudes and are dedicated and supportive and positive and, you know, are working through their own stuff, but still doing it in a cool way for the drum community. This is what our drum community should be like. And this is what drum companies should be like, you know, Revolution having a hand in this and helping us get this started and making awesome products that drummers actually want. That's a big deal, you know? And so that's kind of how I try to model my company, Drum Brigade, where it's a community where drummers belong and it's a community where drummers want to be. You know, it's not a company or a community where they make you feel like you don't belong, like a lot of our, you know, drum companies that we work with, that we use. So there's a lot of cool, positive stuff. I can go on and on, but thank you guys for being a part of it for the past year, and we will keep it going at some point. But for you know, the time moving forward, feel like it needs a little bit of a break, if that's all right. So yeah.
Guys, I think that's pretty interesting, though. Like, I kudos to you for kind of recognizing, like, even I do this to myself, where it's like, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you love drums, and but just like to focus on something, like we could put too many things on our plate in a day, even if it's something that we love. Then by the end of the day, it's just like, did I do anything today? Did I get anything done? It just feels like you're tired. Right. And for you to recognize, it's a tough decision, but I mean, you can recognize where you need to put your focus, which I think is like awesome role modeling. Like, I think that's a great example of like recognizing, because too many of us, like, for some reason in the society, it's like badge of honor to be burnt out all the time, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, like people that are just like, I worked 20 hours today, and I didn't see my family, I didn't do anything, but I'm burnt out and I worked my ass off. And it's like, to me, man, like, focus to where it needs to be. Life is always changing and evolving, and I think honestly, like, that's a huge, like, that's the badge of honor you should be wearing. Is like, I recognized where, I don't know, I need to get some rest or focus. You're focused on a tour. Like, absolutely, man. Focus.
Sure.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly where I'm at, where it's just like, I can do like everything not very good, or I can like kind of shuffle some stuff around and like kind of focus on something, like focus on what I need to focus on. That's like, something that people are paying me to do, and I need to like do it correctly. Like, I can't show up to this tour, like show up for these rehearsals like, oh man, I didn't have any time. But dude, I was doing chops and coffee, and I was like teaching all these lessons. It's like, they don't care, So, so yeah, it's not only chops and coffee. Like, there's actually a couple things that are getting put on hold for a little while. The podcast is another one where it's a big thing for Drum Brigade, the podcast, but it has to, we have to pump the brakes a little bit until I get back. So that being said, chops and coffee, since we're all on the chat on Instagram, we all kind of keep in touch that way. So we talked about like sharing different stuff, different warm-ups, keeping it alive. And then if it's like, hey man, like, I have some free time, like, why don't we do it on Monday, or why don't we do it on Wednesday, or something like that. I'm totally okay with that. Pulling, sporadic chops and coffee if we can. But for sure I need like at least a couple weeks, moving forward. And then it would be cool to try to do one while on tour. But then I think that's a little bit, it's less limiting, keeping it so regimented, like if it's like, hey man, I'm going to do a warm up at 4:00 today, maybe that's like something that we can do, or like, hey man, let's do it at 8:00 in the morning instead of 7, something like that. So we'll work all that out in the chat and figure that out. But and we'll see how we can make it happen. But that being said, there definitely has to be something for all of the core members, the core guys for the chops and coffee crew. We got to keep in touch and keep it alive, man, because this is like, this is a really cool community. Yeah. All right, guys. So everyone's streaming with us too, you know. Thank you guys for coming in, and then of course there's like all the stuff is not going, like the Chops and Coffee merch and all that stuff is not going away. That'll forever be on our merch page on our website, so, or on Teespring. So all right, so warm up today. I have some simple ones. This is from the AB. He's an amazing drummer, amazing drum teacher. I thought we can do this singles build up. 20 and a 2 and a 3 and 4. So it's very simple. 16th notes, 8th notes, but then your 16th notes are singles, your 8th notes are just all on the right. So, and we'll try to get up to 175, and then we'll do these double. This double exercise is pretty cool. So it's like triples, triple, triple, doubles. So so we'll get to that after we do this one. Let's just do this simple one. Let's see if we can go above 175. Hold on, let me text Brennan. All right. Okay, so now I need a metronome. Oh, don't have my iPad. Well, let's see, is that fast enough? All right, so that's 150. So we're still a little ways off of 175, but we'll try to do it for. Let's do it a minute each. Let me get a timer here. Let's do it a minute and a half. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Sorry. All right, cool. Man, if that tempo does really get your hands going. All right, let's go another round. Minute 30. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Hey, what happened here? All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Remember to breathe. Cool. That was 165. All right. Let's try it. 175. Oof. Oh man, I'm sore from last night. Man, my back was hurting. Like, there's definitely something wrong. Definitely something wrong with my back. It was like almost unbearable at some point. It's like right in the center of my spine. And I went to see my like chiropractor, like kinesiologist doctor. And he was talking so many different things, man. Adam, you would probably get. I keep talking to him about you, and I keep talking to you about him. But he was really intrigued by using some of that stuff in drumming and like the stuff that you're doing. He's like, that's pretty interesting. I've never thought about like applying this to music, you know.
What was he saying?
Well, he was talking about he was just giving me a lot of like different stretches and exercises. He keeps telling me that I need to have a pull-up bar in my house to hang from, to like, you know, hang and stretch out my spine and my back and align everything. But one of the things that he's telling me is about sitting, like when I sit in a chair, he's talking about like this butt slide thing from the back of the chair so that it rotates your pelvis, like so that you're basically sitting with your back like really arched. And I've been doing that. Like I've been doing that on when I drive, and you're supposed to have like your legs really spread apart, and then your basically like you look like kind of like a bird chest, you know. And your feet are planted, grounded, and then your pelvis is kind of rotated out, so your stomach is kind of sticking out, and your butt is like up to the back of the chair, you know. And he kept doing this like rotating motion with your pelvis, like your hips or whatever, or like, and man, that is like I can immediately feel when he was like, he had me do it like in his office. He's like, sit on this chair, and then this is how you're supposed to be sitting. He like demonstrated. And when I sat like that, I normally always sit kind of like this, you know, hunched over. When you sit like that, I'm like, I could feel my lower back stretching. I could feel the blood flowing through. And he's like, you know, this is how like a lot of people meditate. This is how it's hard to sit like this for a long time, but this is like where everything is kind of locked in. And so while drumming last night, I was trying to do that, but my back was just too painful. And he said, you'll get fatigued. Like if you do it for a long period of time, or like while you're trying to play, he's like, it's really hard to sit like that if you're, you know, using your legs for playing drums. But man, I could feel like the blood and just my spine, like, you know, aligned and kind of locked in. And it was really nice, really a lot better. So, but doing that for the past couple days, like maybe almost a week, it's made kind of a bigger difference where I'm conscious of when I'm sitting on the couch or when I'm sitting at Starbucks or whatever. It's like I'm trying to sit with my you know, to stretch out my back in that I don't know, motion or setting.
Did you get the throne yet, or has it come?
No, it should be coming anytime. I'm hoping it comes before tomorrow. But ironically enough, or coincidentally, last night my DW throne broke. I've had it for years and years, and like I couldn't get the seat off of the stand or the base, and then I finally was like kicking it, and like a piece of the base like felt like broke. And so I'm like, okay, well, great. I need a new throne, and it's almost here. It should be here any day. So I have thrones all over the shop here, but like, so I won't be high and dry, but yeah, that one's kind of done. So So it's good. Perfect timing.
Yeah, I've always had scoliosis, and so sitting and trying to relax the back has been something I've thought about since first grade. So I don't know, it's funny, like sometimes these things that we think are detriments or, disadvantages, they kind of can focus your attention on something that helps you later on. So
Yeah, you think that it's something that I've never thought about. Because I'm tall, I've always been kind of hunched over. I walk like that, and I never really walked with my back straight and standing up tall. It's just not how I just, and it's I don't know, it's my complex of being tall and, people noticing you right when you walk in the room because you're taller than everybody else. And so I never, it's so funny, man. So many people want to be tall, but I never wanted to be tall when I was a kid. I was always embarrassed by it. And so now it's different. Now I do want to be tall, if that makes sense. And so
man, I
I
agree
do,
with you. I gotta ask you, what was high school dances like? Did you go to your high school dances and
I
try
was,
to dance?
um, I was, by the time I got to high school, I was so anti dances and sports and prom and all of that. I was like, I hated the idea of any of that stuff. Maybe that's why though, because I was just like, I don't know. I felt like I never felt like I fit in. So I was like kind of hanging with the punk rockers and the skaters and, I don't know. So there was a different experience for me. The only thing I did that was like scholastic was I was in jazz band and like, so like sometimes we'd have to play the school dances or something like in the courtyard or something, but yeah, I was already like setting myself up to be the musician in the room at like a wedding, versus like the one getting married. So, all right, let's go one more. This is actually I went a little faster than 175. So let's go. So 1, 2, ready, go. Ah, 10 seconds. Very nice. All right, cool. That was 180. So we beat the record, or we beat the goal. Be cool to do that as doubles too. 16 notes as doubles. All right. So this next one, uh, triplets, and then triple strokes, then double strokes. That's pretty hard. We'll get some triplets going here. Goal 150, start at 130. Let's see. Can everybody do it at that tempo? Ah, good. Okay, Adam's good. That's already fast for me, but we'll see if we can make it to that goal. I love that as the goals there. I love that goal tempos. All right, cool. Let's do this one. Same thing. Let's do this run for 2 minutes. Sorry. Let's do the same thing. I keep forgetting we're moving up tempo. So let's do it another 1 minute 30 each time. All right, ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Cool. All right, let's try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, man. Oh, God. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Oops, cancel. I don't know how I'm going to do that this tempo. Ooh. This is getting messy for me. Let's try it. Coffee. Coffee, please. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, hey. gosh, that one was terrible. That was terrible.
Is the click rushing and dragging for everyone or just me?
It's probably my internet.
Yeah, oh, okay. I didn't know if it was mine or what. It's kind of interesting though, because the more you have to rush and drag with the click, the more you really have to know the sticking, because you're like, your focus goes to moving the tempo. It's kind of good practice.
Yeah. That one, I'm glad it was rushing and dragging for you guys because it was a mess over here.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, because you're just looking at the space, kind of what your hands are doing. The triplets, it's almost like this, and then it's like just speed it up, but you're still doing triplets. Is kind of like a mind thing than a technical thing.
Yeah, I'm in love with the right hand rhythm on this one. It's like da 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 da. It's like African.
That's
sounds.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I always forget to like think about too. So oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool how it yeah, the last beat it resolves. It like brings you back to like that downbeat on beat 4.
I have to work on that.
So then you would play the Afro bell pattern in the right hand and play the right hand. Anyway, it's all kinds of cool shit you can do with that one.
Nice. So I've been doing this. I don't have it written, and I don't know where I got it from, but it's a rudiment practice. So it's 16th notes, paradiddles for one measure. Then the second measure, you're gonna do paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle. So paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. With accents on the rudiment. Paradiddles for one measure, then paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle for the second measure. Okay, all 16 notes. So we're not changing those paradiddle diddles to triplets. I'm wondering what tempo we should try.
Does that make you go to a left-hand lead?
Yes. When you do so it's a 2-measure exercise, but when you repeat it, it's on the left hand. So paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. Now you're leading with your left. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. Right. Oh man, Adam, I just realized that I missed our meeting on Tuesday. I told you, it just hit me like, this is what I'm saying, man.
No, I knew you were busy. No problem.
We'll have to reschedule that, man. Sorry about that.
I don't have no tour coming up. You got shit to do.
All right, so can we do it at that tempo? Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. I'm gonna do this on an actual snare. So. All right, everybody got it? Everybody good with that? Paradiddle diddles? I mean paradiddles, and then paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle. All right, here we go. Let's do that for a minute. Sorry, I keep messing this. 1 minute only. Actually, let's stick to form. Let's go minute 30. I like that amount of time. 1, 2, ready, go. that feels like once you start feeling that pulse, it feels really good. I like that. All right, let's try that a little faster. This might be a good one to slow down too. 1, 2, ready, go. Halfway there. Very nice, very nice. Let's go one more. All right, there we go. All right, are you guys ready? Here we go. Ready, go. I don't know why that rhythm is just nice. It's relaxing for me. I like to once you sink in to that pocket of like that rhythm and not even thinking about the sticking, you know, it's just like feeling those accents. I like that.
Yeah, it can be cool to take out 2 of the accents and you wind up with 2/3 son clave. Like
yeah. Cool. I like that too. Which accent are you taking out though?
Downbeat, and then so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's hard.
So the downbeat on. So yeah, the first accent, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been seeing these like there's a drum school in Atlanta with these like young kids, and they're teaching it's all snare drum. It's all like marching band snare drum stuff, and like they're teaching all these kids, like little kids. It looks like there's like 4 or 5 year olds, and then there's like like 7, 8, 9, 10 year olds, and then there's like teenagers, and they're all like forming a drum line, and they're doing some stuff where I'm like, what? Like, what even is this? And like, obviously they've worked it out, but it's so cool, man. I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like building the next generation, keeping these kids on something positive, focusing them on something, and they're like all doing really great. And they're like, they have these different, like, I guess they're like labeled as like numbers, like play number 1 again. And then they have to like, they all know, they all do it together, I saw like a video of them doing like different groups, like sectionals, and they were like, hit that number 1 again. And then like all these little kids, man, like doing these like crazy like unison accent patterns, and there's like, play it without the accent, and they play it without the accent. I'm like, dude, it's crazy. I'm like, what? First of all, what are you guys using? Like, is that a book? Like, you guys wrote all this stuff. You have your own curriculum. Like, I want to be in that, I'm like, I want to be a teacher with all these kids, but then I'm like, I don't know that stuff. It's really cool though.
Yeah, but they can't swing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they're drum set players. They're just, they're all training for marching stuff, snare drum stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I was playing this gig yesterday, and I was like on one of my soapboxes, so mad. Because at these gigs, man, they're like, they're contracted to have these, we're contracted to like have a hot meal, and like we're supposed to have like a green room, all these things, and a lot of times they don't provide that stuff, or they just like, so there's like no wedding planner. It's just a wedding gig, but there's no wedding planner. There's no nothing. And then they always say the same thing every night. So I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for like 8 or 9 years. But they always say, oh, they didn't tell us that there was a vegetarian in the band. So, we aren't going to do anything about it. And I'm like, that's crap, dude. Like, because you guys knew there was 5 or 6 meals for the band. And like now all of a sudden you're saying, oh, we didn't know there was a vegetarian. And so what they did was they were like, well, we'll just make you a salad. And so like I just basically had some lettuce for dinner, and I had to make it through a 4-hour gig, 5-hour, like being there. I had to be set up by 5, and we didn't end until 10. So I'm like, I was like so mad, like, dude, I just ate a salad. That's all. I mean, I'm not complaining at free food, but like it's in our contract that we're supposed to have, a hot meal for every band member. And like everybody in the band got a hot meal, and then the drummer gets like lettuce.
And you have enough shit to worry about with all the stuff you're bringing. You don't need to bring your dinner.
Exactly. And so my line is always like whenever they tell me that, like, well, they didn't tell us that there was a vegetarian band, so we'll see what we can do. I always go, okay, well, I can just go and leave and go and grab something, and then you'll be without a drummer for an hour. And we'll see what we can make. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. And so I try not to make waves, because that's the quickest way that you can, not be called again. But last night, the two guys that were like the band leader guys were just like, nah, dude, we'll take a long break so you can go get something. But we were at a winery in Temecula, so it was like to go and grab something, it's a 30-minute drive or so, a 20-minute drive, and then to order your food, then so by the end of that gig though, I was like I was out of gas, man. I was fully like, I was struggling, and like I was just so irritated at the principle of the whole idea of like, well, we didn't know. I'm like, yes, you did, because you provided separate meals for all the band members, and it says 1 vegetarian, so yeah. That's my rant of the morning.
I'm not a vegetarian, but I eat a lot, and I never trust anybody to be able to feed me enough. So I
Right.
just and I also I don't like to eat shit, right? Like I like to kind of eat
Right.
like whole foods and stuff. So
Same.
I just got in the habit of just grabbing a cooler lunch bag full of just whatever protein bars or hard-boiled eggs, veggies, hummus, stuff like that. Just because
Yeah.
going hungry is like one of my. I don't like it at all. Like it's just uncomfortable. Like just to be hungry.
Yeah.
So
I'll do it if I have to, but like I've been. It's weird because I have a lot of like dietary restrictions. Like I just won't eat. I don't trust a lot of stuff, and like the same thing. I don't trust what they're putting in their food, and and I can't just like eat anything. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, well, here's your vegetarian meal, and it's like all like just stuff I just can't really eat because it just messes with my stomach or whatever. So I was packing my own food, and I should get back to doing that.
Man,
Last night was,
just even carbonated water, like it's and I refuse to drink pop, right? Like so, like but I like
same.
and it's like carbonated water is like the hardest damn thing to get if you don't bring it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I've had people like try to charge me for a full drink, like I'm
exactly.
getting. Yeah, I'm like, dude, just soda water with lemon or something, and they're just like, that'll be $8. I'm like, wait a minute here.
Hey, Corey, it sounds like you're gigging a lot, which is awesome. And I've been hearing people who do that some gigs are shutting down again. Have you heard word about how that's going?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that here. I'm worried about that. Like, I'm worried about this tour,
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to like say it, but like, I am. I don't know. I mean, I could see that happening in California, but I don't see that happening in like middle America, Midwest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Canadian dates are obviously already canceled. So that was like, yeah, they're hoping that
we haven't even opened up yet. Like, well, we're open.
Yeah, hey Daryl, you got that sweet mic set up there, which is great, but I think we're still all hearing your room mic. So I don't know, or your camera mic or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you have that set up, that'd be cool that you could be using that. So yeah, just check the input on that and make sure you're.
I just switched everything around, so this probably isn't in the right. Probably stupid is not happening. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
If you're on a Mac, you have to go into your MIDI settings. It looks like a little keyboard, audio MIDI setup, and then switch it to using your interface as input and output.
I think it's where I'm inputting this. I think
okay.
I messed it up. You have to, one of these.
Okay. Do you guys like Bill Stewart as the drummer?
Oh shit! I was going through my old paperwork. I found like 10 Bill Stewart transcriptions. Yeah, I love his stuff.
Love his playing, man. I don't know anybody that like Bill Stewart. Like everybody's like, oh, he's great. He's definitely my favorite modern day jazz drummer. Definitely. I'm sorry to say this, and I know it's sacrilegious, but over Brian Blade, over like Hutch, over a lot of them. Like Bill Stewart is just so creative, and I love the way he plays. Amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I love Dan Weiss's, all of his stuff online I'm in love with, but I still haven't found an album that I like that he played on. Does anyone know a like musical Dan Weiss album?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I've heard his solo stuff, and it's like, yeah, it sounds like you're kind of taking what you practice and kind of putting music on it, but I don't. Yeah, Bill Stewart really sounds like everything he worked on was like some deep exploration of coming from a song, rather than the other way around.
He's so musical in it. Like even when he solos, it's like it's not just like chops and rolls, and like it's like he's building melodies, and really, really He's amazing and just so creative. I feel like he's so out of the box. I love that he like plays match grip, playing jazz. I always love drummers that play jazz match grip. I don't know why I love that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, guys. So it's yeah, fun times. Good warm up today. I'm still determined to warm up at the beach. It was my goal for the summer to do it at the beach. So I might be hitting you guys up like, yo, I'm gonna be warming up today at like, let's do it, you know, or whatever. So yeah. Thank you guys once again. Thanks for understanding too this dilemma. And then for sure, if we get locked down again, which I don't see happening, but if we do, like for sure, Chops and Coffee is coming back full blast. It's way better when without balancing work and everything else, you know. So if there's any like questions or any time you guys are like, man, possible to do it like today or this week, just like type it in the chat, man. I'm always, I see it right away. So, and then of course, any other things, if anybody wants to come on the podcast or anything like that, just reach out to me. It's just my name, Corey, Korey @drumbrigade.com. That's my email. So, all right, guys. So it's been amazing, like I said. And yeah, again, thank you guys for making Chops and Coffee what it is. And yeah, like getting to know all you guys, and like definitely like, you know, when I'm in town and all that stuff, let's have some coffee and yeah, all that jazz. All right. So no Chops and Coffee next week, but hopefully in the coming weeks we'll grab another one out and do another one and keep it alive, keep it going. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Corey.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.
Nice being with the others too.
Yeah, Bob.
Enjoyed it tremendously.
Awesome. All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, later, Jen.